Good morning, Chris Fletcher here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a video of all the trails that we have here in DuPont. We are really blessed with some great trails. So obviously there's going to be 10 trails, I believe there are. So stay with me, it's going to be lengthy. Okay, we're going to start off on Trail AA. All the trails have a designator. This is designated AA or Alpha Alpha if you use the phonic alphabet. And you can see right next to the sign here, it's also called, it's also called the Sequelichu Creek Trail. Okay, see next to it, pick up after your dog. And off we go. A little blurb here about the Buffalo Soldiers. Okay, the gate covers the rules. You got rules here. Make sure you read the rules. I call this the crown jewel of DuPont trails. I'm just going to step off the main trail for a minute. Show you a historical marker. We talked about this Scotch broom on one of these trails, and it really is getting out of hand. And buried amongst all this vegetation is this marker. This is the site of a Methodist mission established in 1841. And also, this is the very first 4th of July celebration west of the Mississippi, held in 1841. So 1841 was the first time they celebrated 4th of July in this here parts. Now I always have a joke, why does it take them, it's 1776 when you declared independence, why did it take until 1841? And my joke is, it's because it was British. The British had this territory, the Hudson Bay Company. Back on the main Sequelichu Trail, and I might have mispronounced it before. I usually pronounce it Sequelichu, it's Sequelichu, I believe. Apologize for that. This section is hard surface. Yeah, it's got asphalt on it, but most of the trail is gravel. This is always a good sign when you're coming back up. Once you hit the asphalt, you don't have much farther to go. Environmental sensitive area, please stay on the trail. Again, we have markers. This is 0.25 miles, obviously. We've done a quarter mile. Obviously, it's called Sequelichu Creek Trail because of Sequelichu Creek. How pretty it is. Okay, half-mile marker, AA. Alpha Alpha. Map number 4, a nurse tree. Okay, obviously a nurse tree is where a new tree grows out of an old stump. Sometimes you'll see them labeled as nurse stumps. If you go on the I think it's called the Four Cedars or the Three Cedars Trail in Tolly State Park. There's a really good one there. And they call it the tree with legs. Because what happens is the roots grow over the stump rots away, and leaves the roots exposed up in the air. Trail can get a little wet, especially after we've had a lot of rain, which we normally do this time of year. Oh, the way the ferns grow from the tree. And the 3/4 mile marker, 0.75. Alpha Alpha. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's a slow, steady downhill grade going down to the wharf. And you know what that means? When you're coming back, it's going to be a slow uphill climb. So be aware of that. It's a piece of cake going down, but a little harder coming home. One thing you notice here is on the trails, especially trails like this, there's all the moss on the trees. Look at that. We need to go to the rainforest. We got it right here. It should be a mile marker of 1 mile, and it is 1 mile, Alpha Alpha. Okay, on Delta Delta, DD Trail, which is a tree tunnel, which is up here, along the bluff. I told you where not to go to get down to the Sequalichu, or Sequalichu. Here's the 1.25 miles, 1.25 miles, AA. And I showed you where to come down to it. So if you get my advice and come down the trail I told you to, this is where you'll end up. Come down switchbacks, it's pretty safe. See that, look at that. Sensitive area boundary. Access to this wetland has been restricted to protect wildlife habitat and to maintain water quality. Please stay on the trail. And unfortunately, this is not the trail. It looks like a trail. No bridge across. It takes you across the sensitive area. And it's dangerous. You come down, you can see the sides, how steep it is from the top. So don't go that way. Go on the trail I just told you. Here's some information about Sequalichu band of the Nisqually tribe. I was here way before we got here. I'm talking about Europeans. Hudson Bay Company was British. And they talk about the estuary and the type of wildlife we get to see down here. DuPont is a big old company back east. They came out here, built a gunpowder factory and shipped. And this was part of the train tracks that they used to ship the gunpowder down to the wharf here. Never environmentally sensitive area. And here we go. I believe this is the last sign on this trail. So 1.5 miles, 1.5 miles. Again, I don't mind graffiti if it's somewhat artistic. Okay, you got a pedestrian walkway here, and you got the one where the train tracks go. And here we are at the wharf, and you can see remnants of the wharf where the gunpowder was picked up on boats, barges I should imagine, and shipped to wherever. Looks like we got high tide at the moment because it's a lot lower than this at low tide obviously. The shipwreck is over here, and you can walk out to it at low tide, and what you can do, you can walk down to the beach here, and you got to cross, you got to either cross, say, Qualitu Creek, or you got to go over the rocks. Your choice. You got to do one or the other. And then you can walk all the way along the beach out to the shipwreck, which is just a concrete built boat that's been submerged, partially submerged, abandoned pretty much. Normally you can see, I can just barely make them out as the Olympics over here, and I believe this is Anderson Island. Further down this way is Stellacom and Chambers Bay Golf Course. That's where the 2015 US Open was held. So this is it. This is a great place to come. I'm gonna amble back now. There's you know, a little drainage about halfway down, but nothing to come. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be good.
Forge the river? Are we got ready? You get ready to forge the river like the Oregon Trail?
No, it's just a little bit of water, wet on this trail. That's all.
Can I give a shout out to my mother?
Okay.
If you're watching.
All right. Yeah, I kind of forgot to point out where it was. This is a parking lot, City Hall, side of the trail. Too easy. At the end of Bravo Bravo, which is almost a mile, 0.90. So we're on Bravo Bravo. And the nice thing about Bravo, we go actually through Edmonds Marsh. You can see a marshland. We live in a great town. All wetlands been left here. They didn't drain them. They say wetlands are the start of life. Most life forms start in the wetlands. There we go. Beautiful. One thing we got in DuPont are these huge ant hills. I believe they're carpenter ants. You got these cool signs here. What happens here, trail Bravo Bravo, we're on BB, goes to the left. And there's a trail that goes on up Center Drive. Turn left. We're in DuPont, Washington. Trail Bravo Bravo. Half a mile to go. It's like another access trail to one of the neighborhoods. And we're on Bravo Bravo, a quarter mile to go.
Beautiful dog. Look at the leg. Oh, look at that. You are gorgeous. Have a good one.
All right. Another access, I think that's Edmonds Village. There you go. Edmund Marsh intersection, point 4 we just came from. And St. Qualichu Bridge. Okay, we're going over the creek, although there's not much of it today. Hardly anything. A little more information here. Springs 2 miles to the east give rise to St. Qualichu Creek, which feeds Edmund Marsh. And I see some snow. So, I got a little trail off to the thing here. In this fenced-in enclosure here is the site of the 1843 Fort Nisqually. If you ever go to Point Defiance Park, you'll see a replica of it, but it used to be here. Okay, directly in front of us is City Hall, and just in front of us is Center Drive. And you can walk down this way under the bridge, the underpass I should say, and walk out on the other side. And you'll be on trail Alpha Alpha AA, which is the St. Qualichu Creek Trail. And that follows the creek down to the Puget Sound or the wharf. Woo. And here is the start of BB, Bravo Bravo. Here is the fort site. There's some placards over here that you can read about the history. So that's Bravo Bravo. We're going on CC now, Charlie Charlie, at the trailhead, 0.0. And this is on my quest to videotape all the trails, all the city trails, the ones with the sign and the designator, here in DuPont. And I've done parts of this trail, but I've never actually done the whole thing. Again, I just love walking the trails here in DuPont. It's just a fabulous place to live. Because the trail just takes it up to another neighborhood, what I call access trails. And if I'm not really mistaken, when we do the museum walk, let me just look. Yeah, we walk up this trail up to DuPont Avenue. That takes you up to DuPont Avenue in historic DuPont. This one's got a couple of hills on it, so be warned. Another access point. We're at the 0.25 mile marker. Pretty cool looking trees there. That must have been another thing they did. They left the old growth in. We got a sign probably talking about this tree. And that's another great thing about these trails. We got some information signs, not painted over yet. This is a western red cedar. Cool, eh? Yeah, this is where we normally pop out. Chloe Clark's school is over here, so if you've ever been on the DuPont walks with us, and we come from Harrington, I think it is, or Hammond, and we come along here and turn left and go to DuPont Avenue. This actually is Haskell Street. And again, they got the doggy bins, the waste stations they call them. Pick up after your dog. It should be the half-mile marker. Yep, Charlie, 0.50. Again, the Grand Junction is 0.6. This is Sellers Park, actually. And you get your choice. You want to stay on the soft surface or the hard surface? I'm going to let them go on the soft surface because I want to make sure I don't pass any mile signs, and I think I would have done, yeah. So I'll stay on this one. A lost cat. Okay, 0.75, Charlie. Go straight, yeah. Okay, this is the old State Farm building. And you see a significant increase in the noise level. So it's like a half-mile over to Haskell. Okay, I heard that this morning they named this the Ross Nature Trail, and a gentleman that earned the Congressional Medal of Honor and the Coup de Grace, the French equivalent. And it's 1.0 miles. I wish I'd chopped down that holly to the Grand Junction. And this is Wilmington. And if you ever got off at 119 and head towards the business area, just to give you an idea where we're at. There is called Northwest Landing, and we're in DuPont, Washington. And the trail is just to the right here. And we got I-5. So that's it. For Trail Charlie. So I'll give you an idea where I'm at. This is the roundabouts at the bottom of McNeil, and Ridgeview is where that car is going to go. We turn around and we have a trail. And we're at Trail DD, or Delta. And this is the start, obviously. We're at 0.0 miles. Oop. This trail is also called the Tree Tunnel, or the Bluff Trail. But its actual designator, like I said, is Delta, DD. Another great trail in DuPont. This trail leads off up to, I think it's called Palo Andre Park. It's just right here. We'll do that when we do parks. Got a bit of a hill here. You'll see a lot of trails going off here. A lot of people like to go down the bluff here, across the train tracks to the beach down at the bottom. I say beach, it's not really a beach. But I wouldn't advise it. It's steep, slippy. Plus crossing live train tracks. I've seen people do it with kids, so they're thinking, are you sane? The golf course is on my right. Puget Sound is on my left. Got a nice lookout over here. Okay, a couple of things you can see from this vantage point. Over there, I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but you got the shipwreck. It's actually a submerged, partially submerged concrete boat, and during low tide you can walk out to it. But there's a way of going down there, and I'll show you. Don't walk down over the train tracks, especially if you got children. A couple of the islands, I believe that's Anderson Island. I could be wrong. No, I'm not an expert on the islands. You should be able to see the Olympics, but you can just barely see them if I walk over here. But not today. It's not a very pleasant day. And over here is the Nisqually, or I should say the Billy Frank Jr. Wildlife Refuge. That's about it. It looks like we got a little bit of a rain shower coming in. Oh well. Look at that. Disgusting. Anyway, we're on DD 0.25 miles. And you can see the way this is called a tree tunnel. Or bluff trail. Yeah, these cool looking trees here, I believe they're called madrona trees. It seems like they shed the bark. And they got that beautiful red tint. Beautiful. Got a half-mile marker here, but unfortunately somebody took it. There we go. We're on the 3/4 mile, 0.75, Delta Delta. Okay, we're coming towards the end of Delta Delta, or DD. And you got a choice. You can go through the what we call the hole in the fence, or we can go to the left to the end of the trail. And this is the official end of Delta Delta. And what it is a memorial, I think 1840, to a gentleman named James Wilkes. And this is where his observatory was. And you can see the marker right here. We should be able to read it. Wilkes Observatory. Built in 1841. In this building, work of the United States exploring expedition was conducted. Well, this is the official end of Delta Delta, and you can see it's 1.12 miles. Now, again, I'm speaking from experience. It looks like the trail goes on down the hill here, but I guarantee you this is quite dangerous. My wife and I did it one day thinking it was a regular trail, and it looks like it. I think they really should block this off. But she slipped and she grabbed hold of something and hurt her shoulder, and her shoulder was hurting for a long time after that. So it's quite dangerous. And not only I mean, you can get down to the, say, Qualitude Trail on this, but it's not the way to do it. And what you're going to do, you're going to go across environmentally sensitive areas. So you don't want to do that either. Lots of birds. So let me show you. And I hear this is called the Robertson Trail, but I've not seen any sign that says that. And I'm hoping this will continue when they put when they do the building and put extra houses out here. All this is going to be built on either single family housing or multi-family housing. But if you come down here just a little bit, and you're looking for a pile of rocks. And here's the pile of rocks. And this is the trail that goes down. Now, you can see it's not marked, but it's a well-established trail. It's switchbacks. It's not, I mean, it could be slippy, but it's not dangerous like the other trail. Okay, so that's what I'd recommend you use if you want to do the loop. Okay, I'm at the Palisade and the Center Drive traffic light. Again, we're still on the wear blue to remember, run to remember. So this is the junction where this starts. And you got a baseball field here. It's quite popular during the summer. Pretty sad they're going to build a big old warehouse, rip out 450 trees. So sad. I'm sorry. So we are at Trail EE. Echo, Echo. If you use a phonic alphabet, it's a lot easier. And I use the phonic alphabet that I learned in the military. It was Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. So we're on Echo, Echo, EE. And on my right, we have the home course, which is the golf course here in DuPont. As we speak, my wife is playing in a tournament there. And I've played it a couple of times. Nice golf course. It's a Saturday, so there's nobody in the school. And I believe this is Wren Street, or Wren something. It's Wren anyway. And if you look, this is just Powder Works, well, it is Powder Works. This is Bob's Hollow, the main intersection. And then beyond that, you can see the ball fields of Powder Works Park. And this leads on to the golf course. And I don't recommend you walking on the golf course if I'm playing, if you get my drift. Okay, again, please clean up after your dog. These are called waste stations. Waste stations. And I think I read the other day there's 30 of them in the city. So you don't have much of an excuse not to pick up after your dog. And us non-dog owners appreciate it. Like I say, the trails all have these markers on them, so I've just walked 0.25 miles. I have to come out and check that. That seems like a long 0.25 miles. Okay, I'm at Echo still. Okay, coming to the end of Echo. You can still see it's part of the trail for Wet Blue. And we're at Simmons and Bob's Hollow, where that car is at the stop sign. Simmons and Bob's Hollow. So this is Simmons. And they got it just over half a mile long. That seems like a long half mile. I might check that one day. Okay, so this is Trail Echo or EE. Okay, next on my tour of trails in DuPont is GG, or Golf. There's a trailhead, and we're actually on BB, or Bravo. There's BB, Bravo, and this is Golf, and this is a trailhead, 0.0 miles. Off we go. Where are you going? This way. We have the 1843 Fort site to my right. That's a good tour, by the way. The Historical Museum puts it on. And you learn lots about this area. Okay, this fenced-in enclosure here is apple trees. I'm not sure if they're cuttings from the original orchard that supplied the fort. We'll find out. Woo. We got a blizzard. I hope you can see it on the camera. It's called DuPont Heirloom Orchard, so I'm guessing these are cuttings from the original trees. And over here on my right, in a separate area, is a graveyard. And the burials of people that, when they built this area, this is called Northwest Landing. When they built the area, they found quite a few people buried here, of course. You were talking about back in 1800s, hardly anybody around. So they transplanted them over here, on the other side of here. And you'll find settlers on one side and tribal members on the other side. And that was the request of the tribe, evidently. So the street here is called Tommy, after the, I called him Agent in Charge, but he's got a different name. I forget what the name is now. Okay, on my left here is the original orchard that the fort occupants had. There's apple trees. They got the door open. I wonder why the gate's open. Okay, here it is. There's a Hudson Bay Company. It's a British company, I have to say. A beautiful day for a walk in DuPont. Okay, we're at Golf 0.25 marker. One thing I like here is that we have a species called Scotch broom, and it's invasive and it's non-indigenous. And it looks like somebody's chopping it down here. I think that's great because it takes over everything, and you can see it here. It's just wild. Okay, we're coming to the end of Golf, and we're at the junction of Hammond Avenue and Bob's Hollow. And up there the traffic light is Center Drive. So what we got? Half a mile. Again, make sure you clean up after your dog. We just did that on one of the trails. Okay, I'm in what you call a historical DuPont. And behind the museum and the gunpowder train exhibit. And today, we're going to do Juliet or JJ, and this is the end of it by the looks of things. 0.4. We got a special guest walking with us today. Coco. And if you don't know where to go, some fine individual came along and created this map. Got a mile marker here, 0.25, quarter of a mile to go. Remember, we start at 0.40. It looks like an access trail. I call them access trails, where you access to different neighborhoods. I've never been up there. Probably try it one day. Okay, I believe this is called Bell Hill Community Park. We'll check that out when we do the trail down that way. And what we're doing now, we're coming up to what they call the Grand Junction of Trails. There's, like say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trails that lead off from this spot. We're coming to actually the beginning of JJ. We started at the end. That's 0.40, less than half a mile. So this is the trailhead for JJ or Juliet. Pretty straightforward. Okay, our next trail is KK or Kilo. And this is located off Ridgeview. Ridgeview is right here. And directly across, well, just down to the left here, is Hotel or HH. And got the roundabout there where that car's going is McNeil. So KK, this is the start, 0.0. And evidently you can adopt a trail. What you're doing is you're keeping it trash free. Report any problems to Public Works or the Fix It app. At the top here you got a nice view of the Sound. I see some snow on the hills over there. Probably the Olympics. Beautiful. I know that just over here is the Nisqually Wildlife Refuge. Okay, Native Grove Protection Easement. Help protect and care for this area. In other words, stay out of it and don't be bending and trying to twist the sign off. Be advised it's hilly. I've actually never walked this way on this trail. I do a thing what I call Hoppin' Hill circle, loop, and we come down this trail. But I've never ever walked up this trail. First time. Beautiful though. Reminders and GPE. Okay, we got a bit of a spur here, and it's a overlook site. There we go. That's the Billy Frank Jr. National Wildlife Refuge, or it's the Nisqually River Estuary. I don't know if you know, the Nisqually River starts actually, its source is a glacier there in Mount Rainier, and this is where it ends. We're back on Kilo. At the 0.25 quarter mile. Some pretty thick woodlands in DuPont. And here where it ends. Again, I believe we're on Ridgeview. Kilo 0.45, so it's not very far. And this is Chief Laichai Park. It's like the corner of Brown and Ridgeview. Okay, I'm back at the Grand Junction. Last time we did Bravo Bravo, and this time I'm going to do Lima Lima. And this is Bell Hill community, and I'm with Military Wild on one of our trips. If you're affiliated with the military, join Military Wild. Okay, at the start of the trail, you got the playground. Bell Hill Community Park. Okay, one cool thing about here is these slides. These slides are pretty awesome. I'm hoping somebody will slide down one today. And what we're going to do, head towards Belmarsh. Okay, you can see through the trees here, Belmarsh, another example of keeping the wetlands here in DuPont. Okay, we're at 0.25 miles on trail Lima. Belmarsh in the background. When you come in, you saw a gas station on the corner. Oh, across the street, that's where the high school used to be.
Okay. Oh, used to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
They knocked it down since Stillicum now, the high school.
Oh, it's in Stillicum now?
Yeah. So you can get out here onto the highway. I'm not sure if you want to, but we're not going to do today. I'm just going to go up to the sign here.
Right.
Where it says,
And turn around.
what is it, 0.46?
Oh, okay.
So it's half a mile, less than half a mile.
Yeah. Oh, this is LL.
Yeah. Here we are, the DuPont Stillicum Highway, and this is the end of this trail. 0.46 miles, Lima, LL. So what we're going to do is turn around and go back. And if you look here, it looks like at one time this trail used to go across the street onto the fort. So we're just talking, I was talking to Carol at the museum, and if you've never been to the museum here in DuPont, make sure you try and do it and talk to Carol if you want to know any of the history of DuPont. She is a residential expert. And well, we're talking about the old school days. DuPont and Fort Lewis used to be in the same school district. I think it was called the Fort Lewis DuPont School District. And a lot of kids from the fort used to come over to the DuPont High School, which is in Barksdale Station. So if you don't, where the 76 gas station is, I think that's across the street. And behind one of the houses there's an actual tunnel, or used to be a tunnel that goes under the highway, the DuPont Stillicum Highway, that the kids used to come from the fort so they could go to school. Now, school's gone now. It's, I think these slides are pretty awesome. You might want to think of bringing a towel if you want to bring your kids on them, so you can wipe them off. Or what we used to do as kids, we used to wipe them off with the seat of our pants when we went on the slide, but we never slide this big. And it looks quite safe. You got a railing around the top. And my adult daughter couldn't resist, and she actually slid down when I brought her here. So next we're going to do MM, and this is a trailhead for it. And again, we're on the Grand Junction where all these 5 trails meet. And off we go. And I don't think I might have rode down this one on my bicycle. And over this side, we got Edmonds Marsh. This looks like it goes up and over to the trail LL. Not sure where it takes you to. Hold on a minute. Tacamano. Well, hang on a minute. I don't know what that is. Well, there's a sign here. Okay, here we are on the 0.25 miles. So we're still on Mike. And I kind of figure this is what this would do. And this is what it shows you on the map. You got a little bit of an uphill .36 is the end of this trail. Let's see what it brings you up at. It's like one of the retention ponds. And yeah, there's a little trail that leads off onto the highway. And then you got the stormwater pond. So this is it. Okay, it looks like it just ends here at the
yeah, this is
stormwater.
The big drainage area.
Right, the stormwater thing. You think you wouldn't need this being up the hill? There you go, to the Indian reservation.
Yeah,
oh, okay, awesome, thank you. Going straight. You know where to go? You know where that goes to? No, Indian reservation. Okay, now we're back at the Grand Junction. So that's .36 there, and .36 back. Okay, I'm on McNeil and continue on my trails of DuPont. We're going to do trail NN, which is November. And this is actually the end of the trail. You get well, about a third of a mile long. I just thought this was the beginning, but it's the end. And we're on McNeil, near the Fairbridge Hotel. So off we go. One thing you'll notice right away as you move away from McNeil, it's nice and quiet. November, or NN. All the trails have a designator. And to my right here you can see, well, hopefully you can see, Grant Lake. Named after President Grant. So what they did, what a great thing I think they did when they built Northwest Landing, which is this part of DuPont, is maintain the wetlands. It's beautiful. Oh, they got mile markers. So like I say, we started at 0.33, was it? We're at 0.25 now. That's a quarter of a mile. It's just a beautiful place to walk. One thing you'll notice about this trail is quite hilly. And in the wet weather, icy obviously, it gets pretty slick, so be careful, especially if you're riding a bicycle. You can come off it really easy. Okay, we come through a branch off here of this trail. Oh, look at that guy. Must have surprised him. He must have been dozing. Yeah, this leads to McLeod, whatever you pronounce it. I'm sure somebody will help me out there. And then from there you can walk over to Bob's Hollow and Powder Works Park. Yeah, you can see this is pretty steep here. As a friend of mine, I posted a photograph of this trail, and he asked me if I was in Middle Earth. Beautiful. Another thing, if you come out to on a Saturday morning and run with the Run to Remember, Wear Blue, Run to Remember, this is part of that trail. Every Saturday morning, 9 o'clock at Powder Works Park. They meet. And we're coming towards the end, or actually the start of the trail. There you go, November, 0.0 miles. So this is actual start. And I believe this is Spencer Court. And they ask you to pick up after your dog. Please pick up after your dog. Thank you.